Every record is made to be broken. That's the promise of sport. Someone runs a little faster, scores one more, lasts a little longer, and the line moves. The old number becomes a story, and a new name takes its place. Except for a handful, there are records in the history of the World Cup so strange, so perfectly of their moment, that the game has quietly accepted they will stand forever. Not for a generation, not for a century, forever. The players who will break them haven't been born, and they never will be. These are 6 World Cup records that will never be broken. Stay until the end, because the last one has stood since 1958, and it is the most untouchable number in football. Number 6. The goal that beat the clock. Most footballers spend 90 minutes hunting for one moment. Hakan Şükür needed 11 seconds. 2002, the third-place playoff. Turkey kick-off against South Korea, the ball is worked forward, a defender miscontrols it, and Şükür is simply there. He hits it first time, and before most of the crowd has even sat down, it is in the back of the net. 11 seconds, the fastest goal in the history of the World Cup. Think about what would have to happen to beat it. A perfect kickoff, a defensive mistake in the opening touches, a striker alert enough to punish it, and the finish to match. All inside 10 seconds, on the biggest stage in the sport, with the whole world watching. It has not happened in over 20 years. It almost certainly never will. Number 5. 5 goals in a single afternoon. Scoring a hat-trick at a World Cup makes you a legend for life. Oleg Salenko scored 5 in one game. Russia against Cameroon, 1994. Salenko scored and scored and scored again, finishing the match with 5 goals to his name, the only player ever to do it in a single World Cup match. And here is the part that makes it untouchable. Russia did not even make it out of the group. Salenko played a handful of games at that tournament, lit up the record books forever, and was essentially never seen at a World Cup again. One impossible afternoon, and then gone. No striker has come close in 30 years. Number 4. The man who won it 3 times. A World Cup winner's medal is the rarest thing in football. Most of the greatest players who ever lived, the names you would put on any list, never won a single one. Pelé won 3. 1958, a 17-year-old kid scoring in the final. 1962 and 1970 in that golden Brazil side most people still call the greatest team ever assembled. 3 World Cups across 12 years by one man. No player in history has won more than 2. Not Maradona, not Messi, not Zidane, not Ronaldo, not Beckenbauer. In an era where a career at the very top might span 3 or 4 tournaments, winning all 3 of them is a feat the modern game is built to prevent. Pelé's 3 may be the safest record in all of football. Number 3. The man who would not stop scoring. For decades, the all-time World Cup goal-scoring record passed between the great strikers of history. Then a quiet German forward took it and put it somewhere no one can reach. Miroslav Klose. 16 World Cup goals across 4 separate tournaments, 2002, 2006, 2010, and 2014. 16. To break it, a striker would need to be world-class, stay injury-free, and keep his place in the side across 4 World Cups in a row. 12 years at the absolute summit of the game, and even then, 16 is a very long way away. The closest active players are barely halfway there. Klose's record isn't just standing, it's pulling away. Number 2. The country that never missed. 22 World Cups have been played since the very first one in 1930. 22 tournaments, scattered across nearly a century, on 5 different continents. One nation has been at every single one of them, Brazil. Through wars, through boycotts, through qualifying campaigns that have sunk giants like Italy and the Netherlands, Brazil have simply always been there. 5 times they have won it, more than anybody. But it's the never missing that is the real miracle. Qualification gets harder every cycle, the world gets stronger, and the margins get thinner. A single bad campaign ends the streak forever. 90-odd years, and it has never come. That is not a record you break. It's a record you can only fail to match. Number 1. 13. In 1958, a French striker named Just Fontaine arrived at the World Cup almost by accident. He was only in the squad because the first-choice forward got injured. He didn't even have his own boots. He borrowed a teammate's, then he scored 13 goals in a single tournament. 13, in 6 matches. A number so far beyond anything before or since that it doesn't feel like it belongs to the same sport. In the 60-plus years that have followed, through every great striker the game has produced, through Ronaldo, through Müller, through Mbappé, not one player has come within 5 goals of it in the modern era. Most golden boots today are won with 6. Fontaine's record has now outlasted the careers of every man who has ever tried to chase it. It will outlast every player watching this video. The format has changed, the game has changed, the whole world has changed, and 13 has not moved an inch. It is the most untouchable number in football, and it was scored by a man in borrowed boots. So there they are, 6 records the World Cup has quietly decided to keep forever. The fastest goal, the 5-goal afternoon, the 3-time champion, the 16-goal German, the country that never missed, and a Frenchman's 13. Which one do you think falls first, if any of them ever do? Tell me below, and if you want the part 2, there are records even stranger than these. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.